and underfunded. He says, I'm literally uploading an update right now for his game Glow Home. Well, I need to check that out. Plug underfunded. Um, Good little game. It's fun.
I tell you what, since our episode with him though, he's
Yeah.
like changed the way I look at games. Like certain things, like I was playing Tsushima earlier, and I was like looking at things like, man, how did they even think to do some of the stuff that's in this game? You know what I mean?
Oh, true.
So it's like totally changed the way I play through games or what I'm thinking when I'm playing through them.
Chad, I mean, I just want to jump in real quick, man. I'm no joke. I was talking with one of my buddies who's very, very much a fan of Ghost, and he got the director's, cut, and he straight up made a comment to me, something about the damn
quiver,
quiver,
the arrow quiver.
And I was like, I know somebody.
Yeah. Like I said, I couldn't have been the only one complaining about it, so I'm sure I wasn't. But yeah, that's hilarious that he pointed out too. It's a noticeable thing. If you were there at the beginning, you probably know what I'm talking about. But that's funny that he pointed it out for sure.
Underfunded thanks you, and he thinks like that a lot too. I was thinking like that when we were watching that kind of preview of Dead Space remake last week, Chad. Just like they were actually showing like legit like game development, like how they're, you're in there like sandbox and stuff, but it's just crazy how all that stuff works.
It really is. It really is.
Especially now we look at games these days, and they are just so complicated, and there's just so much going on, and it all has to work. And that's, that's why there's bugs in games.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we get really mad when the game's just like completely busted on day one, but
there's so much going on that, and I think gamers are much tougher on developers than we really should be for the most part. There are some studios where it's just like, okay, either just get it right or just move on to something, to do movies or something, because you're just not getting it.
Well,
go ahead.
No, yeah, you're right. But I do think I think we're also able to tell the difference when it is like the developers versus the executive, like studio heads, screwing shit up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for sure.
I think. Were you going to say something? No, we cut each other off.
That was it. I just feel like on top of people always complaining that games are more expensive than they've ever been, which is not true, Jordan. They also are rougher on, studios bringing out patches and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, the issue with patches are it's that you're allowed to make changes later, whereas before you have to make this game or your studio suffered.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. 100%. So, if you got a broken game in the 90s, it was broken. That was it.
It was broken.
You're done. And that game's not going to review good. It's not going to sell good. It's just
how many games you buy now. I don't care if it's a brand new game that's even being remastered, director's cut, day one patch. Every single one of those games.
All of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I definitely see that, but I kind of feel that like that's a good thing and not a bad thing, because
I agree.
Because now where some of these games before were just broken and you wouldn't play them, now they're getting patched and fixed, and now you can actually play them. And let's be honest, that's kind of what we're all here for, is to play games, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of see that as a good thing. Patches and DLC, all that stuff I love. There's a lot of people that hate on that stuff, especially paid DLC and that stuff, but that's, I'm sure Jordan's going to bring that up in our conversation. But
Underfunded's right with us, saying the exact same thing.
No bug-free updates. It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, when you're a solo game dev, it definitely has to be hard.
Definitely.
But that's where the slider comes into play, like dev or executive screwing it up,
right?
Like, which is it?
Yeah.
And I think we're pretty good at telling a lot of times, and I think that's where the unfairness comes in, is when it unfairly gets directed at the studio or the dev, when it's really the parent company saying, "Make us money now."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
legacy are underfunded. A lot of it's oversight or forgetting a connection, but it's impossible to be 100% accurate doing anything. And in game dev, it has to be 100% to work.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that is true. It takes the littlest thing to like break the whole chain of code.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. You fix one thing and then it makes 6 other problems, you know?
Every update, dude. You know, you fix one thing and then something else.
Something else. Yeah. That's why when you get a game that's fully put together day one, it's like really impressive. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of rare. They're rare, even amongst first party studios with
Yeah.
Xbox and Sony. Sometimes their games are busted. Days Gone is a perfect example. That game should have been really, really good, and it wasn't. And unfortunately, the studio really suffered from that. I don't think it's as bad as the hate that it gets, but it's since been patched and they've moved on to a different, like Sony was like, here, you're not making Days Gone 2, so move on to something else, which kind of sucks because I kind of liked it. But
hey, thanks for watching this clip of the Showboys podcast. If you like what you heard, please go check out the full episode on our YouTube channel or anywhere you find your podcast content. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, join the Showboys Discord, and if you want to support the podcast and what we do, sign up to become a patron today at patreon.com/showboyspodcast.